episode 95 of the Tea and Possibilities podcast. I'm Nikki, and this is a podcast all about knitting, crochet, and making all the things here in East London. Because I don't live in Northwest London anymore, I live in East London, and that's why there's been a really massive delay in podcast episodes, because it turns out that the latter stages of getting a mortgage are very, very stressful and time consuming, and they don't leave a lot of energy for podcasting. Moving without taking time off work, also quite stressful, quite time consuming, and also having no furniture doesn't really allow for podcasting. I've only had this beautiful sofa for about 2 weeks. It took 7 weeks to arrive, but she is here now. We love her, and I think this will be my podcast corner. I'm not sure yet. I do still need to get some pictures up on this. I need to get multiple pictures up, to be perfectly honest with you, but we're going to save all of that for Knit and Natter, because the last time that I podcasted, I think I was just back from Vienna and I was talking about going to Costa Rica. So it's been a while, and I will do a little catch up for you at the end of this episode in Knit and Natter. So stick around for that if you are interested. But first of all, welcome and thank you. If you are a new viewer, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for giving it a shot. And if you are one of my returning viewers, thank you, because I have not been the most reliable podcaster since lockdown, really, let's be honest. And I'm hoping to get back into it. I have put up a couple of vlogs. I'm hoping to do a few more vlogs, just with bits and pieces that I'm getting up to at the moment. But you're here now, and I massively appreciate it. Thank you so, so much. I'm going to try and keep it as a bit of a short and snappy episode, because there's not a huge amount to update you on, but also because it's kind of dingy. It is, hang on, I've still got my exercise up from this morning. That's the last time I looked at my watch. It's 7:20. It's getting a little bit grey out. I've put the floor lamps on. I didn't want to have to get out my big podcasting lights because I haven't properly organised my cupboards yet, and they are right at the back of it. But that's a whole other story. That's a whole other story. This is atmospheric, right? You know, we've got candles, it's atmospheric. As always, I will be linking everything that I talk about in this episode just down below, and I will be marking everything very clearly, Ravelry or non-Ravelry. So if you aren't able to use Ravelry, that should make your life a little bit easier, I hope. I do have a Ko-fi account as well, and I will link that down below. And I just want to say a massive thank you if you do make a donation via Ko-fi, because I know that times are tough right now, so I do really, really appreciate that. And now, before we go into Whipped Up, what is today's tea? This little beauty is actually one of my housewarming presents from a friend of mine. It is a Ravelry Paper Co, which is gorgeous, and I don't know if you can see because the light is reflecting. It's got the N on it, N for Nikki, and we are drinking Earl Grey, which I probably shouldn't be drinking because I've literally just had a pumpkin spice latte because I had to pop into town and I just happened to pass Starbucks and there it was. So I probably don't need this, but hey. But you know what? I have got this to edit tonight. I have got a whole curry to cook, so caffeine me up, baby. But now, let's move on to Whipped Up. We are kicking Whipped Up off with a faux, because yes, I have finished a pair of socks. This is Valkyrie Fibres in the Misty Mountain colourway, which I think is a Hobbit reference rather than a Lord of the Rings reference. I've seen both series multiple times. I've actually seen Lord of the Rings more than The Hobbit. I find the Hobbit films much too long. Although I really enjoy the first one, and the second one actually. But anyway, that's a tangent for another day. And I'm fairly certain they mention the Misty Mountains as the dwarves' kind of homeland. So that's the main stripe pattern here. And the cuff, heel and toe is in Novita Venla 182. So it hasn't got a fancy colourway name, it's just 182, but I love it. I love the blue with the grey. I think it really lifts the grey, and I think they are very, very beautiful. I really like these, they're very comfortable. I haven't actually blocked them yet. I finished them. I'm gonna try and insert it here because I actually had a really, really long meeting, and by really long, I do mean about 5 hours at work towards the beginning of August. And the CEO of the company did film me knitting these through that meeting, because it's the only way I could concentrate. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to concentrate for 5 hours without my knitting. I'm going to try and insert that here. I'm not as grumpy as I look. That's my concentrating and being very serious and businesslike face. But I worked on one of these. I basically did the whole foot during this meeting, and then I just put the toe in, and I just haven't got around to blocking them since. Maybe I'll do that tonight actually, because while I've got them out I might as well. So I have finished these. I also finished my Mr. Smith socks, but I decided that they weren't Christmassy enough. That was the decision that I made. They were not Christmassy enough. So I donated them to my nan, who expressed an interest in them. She thought they were quite pretty, so I gave them to my nan, and as I don't live there anymore, I don't have them to hand, but they are finished. So those are the 2 faux that I have had in the last 2 months, which is not a great amount of faux, admittedly, but life got in the way. I keep talking about doing more pattern socks, but I really do enjoy just having something to work on mindlessly. It's amazing. But I do need to make sure that I have something mindless cast on this weekend, because I do have another 5-hour meeting there once a month coming up next week. So I definitely need something for that, but I will come to that. Spoiler alert, I will come to that. But what I have down here is this. This is a seagrass basket that I picked up from IKEA. I love the smell of these things. They smell so good. Like, is there a candle that smells like this, or some incense? Because I need it. I want my whole house to smell like this. It smells beautiful. It's just so good. But this, I bought this to live in this side table. So you can't see it, but underneath this drawer, there is a space with a little shelf. And I brought this to slide in there. It doesn't quite fit. I have to do some wedging, but you know, needs must. And in here, I keep my active projects so that I can tidy them away very neatly of an evening, because apparently I'm very house proud these days. So I have 2 projects in here to share with you as whips. So the first one is in my gorgeous mustard hide and hammer bag. And you all know how much I love yellow. We have painted the living room yellow. I say we, it's very much the royal we. Although to be fair, my mum helped me paint it, so it was a we that painted it. It was just my choice. Tangent, again, so many tangents. But in here, and it isn't quite closable because it is such a big project, this is my crochet cardigan. This is the GG cardigan by Holly Woodward, which is a fantastic name, like really good going on the name. And I think I talked about this in the last episode, where I was talking about using it as my travel project because I could make a lot of little squares. And I did. I made most of the squares while I was in Costa Rica. I made quite a few of them on the flight. I watched a lot of DC films and crocheted through both flights. That I got more done on the flight out, to be honest, because the flight back was a night flight. But yeah, that's kind of how I got through the flights. And I made 1 or 2 a day while I was there, kind of while waiting for my friend to get ready, or like just taking an hour's chill time in the room before going out for dinner, that kind of thing. So here we have it. And this is a mess at the moment. It's at the very messy stage because I am just kind of putting it together at this point. So I'm just going to try and fish it all out. And I haven't woven in any ends because I apparently just don't care to do so until I really, really have to. I'm going to try and show you the bits that I've made, which is going to be tricky because there's a tangle. Right, so this is the back. So as you can see, I've put all the back together. I've used paint box cotton for this. It's various colorways. I've got them all listed on the Ravelry page, and I can drop them down below if you want. But yeah, that is, I very much kind of followed the picture in the pattern because this is what I loved. I really loved the creamy one that she did. I think it's gorgeous. So that's going to be the back. This is a front panel, apparently. I still don't really know. I'm one of those people, I know you're meant to read the pattern ahead. I just kind of do things as I come to them and hope for the best. That's the other front panel. This is one completed sleeve. I will demonstrate said sleeve. So there we go. that's said sleeve. You'll notice in the pattern that the cuff is slightly tighter, and this one isn't, as you can see. It was a little bit tight for my liking. I like things to be a little bit looser. I do like the way it looked in the pattern. I just didn't like how it felt, which is, you know, bit of a pain, but there you go. What I will say is that on bank holiday weekend, I intended to spend the entire Saturday working on this project, and had I done that properly, this would probably be finished now and it would be one of my foes, but I did not do it properly. I spent the entire day misreading the pattern, and I could not get this cuff to work. I just couldn't get it to work. It just, no. And then I sent a very annoyed text to my friend, and basically said, I don't know why this isn't working. I don't know why I'm so stupid. Why won't it work? And she was like, just take another look at it. I bet you can work it out. I read it properly for the first time. Did it in an evening. Did it in a couple of episodes of Doctor Who, because I'm rewatching Doctor Who from season 1 of New Who, so 9, Chris Eccleston. Yeah, could have had it finished. Haven't got it finished. But there we go. So I'm now working on the, oh God, it's such a tangle at the moment, isn't it? I'm now working on the second cuff. So as you can see, I'm almost done. I'm almost at the end there. I worked on this while watching Doctor Who, but also while watching season 3 of A Discovery of Witches, which is a mad show. I've read all 3 books and I've now watched all 3 seasons, and I have such a love-hate relationship with it because it's just all over the place. There's so many plot holes, so much of it doesn't make sense, and yet I love it. So yeah, there we go. We have 2 sleeves that are semi-complete, and then it's just a case of putting the thing together and taking a picture, because it's never finished until you've taken a picture. So yeah, that is my kind of big project at the moment. I really wanted to finish it in August. The intention, as I said, was to finish it on bank holiday weekend, and yet, as you can see, very much unfinished. But it is what it is. It is what it is, and I will finish it, and it will be beautiful when it's finished. And hopefully the weather will hold just long enough for me to get some nice pictures in the park, because I live near a park now, which is quite nice. So yes, I'm just gonna, this is just, so that's my kind of big whip, and the one that I'm really hoping that I will finish soon. But I do have another, not quite whip, but it's been wound. So I have a new ball winder and Swift. I'm not very good at it yet. I kind of just tried to figure it out on my own when winding. And so I've got a bit of yarn bath, I think people call it. So I definitely need to watch a video to make sure I'm doing it properly next time I need to wind yarn, which will probably be for a pair of Christmas socks. But I'm very excited about this project, and I think it's going to be the one that I knit through my next meeting. So because Jude is a genius, he got a load of queer dyers together to dye minis to make up the Pride flag to celebrate Pride 2022. I had to have this, and I've been wanting to knit Jude's pattern, the litmus cowl, for a really, really long time, because it looks like a really fun and easy, quick knit. Not necessarily quick the way I knit, but you know what I mean, just easy. So I got myself a little set. So I've got the grey, which is First Frost, also by Jude. And then I got Tangled, because of course. And then I got the minis, and they are all so beautiful. And I think you can really tell that they have been done. I can't get them all out. I don't have big enough hands. We're trying, hang on. There we go. These are the minis. I'm a professional. But yes, I think you can really tell these have all been dyed by different dyers. I think this one is beautiful. It's very Christmassy. Red, love that. But as you can, this is what I meant. Look at this. I did use a ball winder. You wouldn't know, would you? Look at that. Absolute mess. But beautiful. I love this. It's such an amethysty purple. This blue is just gorgeous. And then we've got, oh God, help. We've got the trans flag colours as well, which are great. this brown has got so much like texture in it. It's very, very natural world, very woody. Love that. What have I missed? Oh, the green, the green. It's so pumpkin spice. I really love these. So these are going to be the coloured stripes in my grey litmus cowl. I think this First Frost will really just be a really nice chill background colour for these beautiful colours. And I'm really looking forward to working on it. It's going to be my travel project. I am, you know, whenever I go on the tube or whenever I go in a car or anything like that, it's going to be my travel project, and it will get me through my next 5-hour meeting, which is coming up on Wednesday. So thoughts and prayers for that. And I will be working on my litmus cowl. I'm hoping to get it cast on this weekend so I can get it going and get kind of comfortable with it. I reckon I could probably get 3 stripes into it, frankly, in that time. So that's going to be the next kind of whip in progress. That makes no sense because whip stands for work in progress. But it's the next really active progress you're gonna see, as well as a finished object. We can but hope. I'm just gonna put those in there and pretend that all the endy bits aren't fluttering everywhere. There we go. Oh, I've dropped one. Oh, the black! I knew I'd missed one. This black, and I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there is colours in the black. Oh, it's so good, it's so good. What I'm gonna try and do is, when this is finished, I'm going to lay it out on my dining table and try and get a close-up of all the colours knit up, which I'll splice into the podcast because lighting, not the one. We went for atmosphere rather than clarity today. Pure vibes, everyone. Just pure vibes today, but gorgeous. Oh, so gorgeous. So yeah, when it's finished, I am going to take you through it, and I will go through all of the dyers as well, because talent. Also, what I really like about it, as well as it being a really cool thing to make to support Pride, I'm also able to then sample a lot of dyers, most of which I've never tried before. So I think out of all of them, I have only worked with Old Maiden Aunt and obviously Stranded. Those are the only ones I've worked with before. So this is a fantastic opportunity. I love this collection for being a taster for other dyers, and that fact that they're all going to go into one project is just really cool to me. So I'm very excited about this one. Also, as I said, I'm working my way through the Doctor Who seasons ahead of the new Doctor joining us. So really good kind of TV knitting, really. But that's it for Whipped Up, and now it's time to go on to Knit and Natter. Keep this brief because, as you can see, it's getting more and more atmospheric as time passes, and I don't want it to be a chore to watch. So I will touch on the highs and lows of moving. Being me, I created a spreadsheet, and I had decided on all my furniture. I'd kind of figured out based on floor plans what was going to fit, and then best laid plans came unravelled. So first things first, we got in and we painted. So we painted one wall in the living room, which you can see here, and I painted one wall in my bedroom as well, which was all fine. And I moved in all my kitchen stuff, all good. And then I double checked all of the measurements and ordered my furniture, because I am nothing if not a double checker, she says, having talked about how many times she read the pattern and spent 8 hours doing it wrong. But side note, technicality doesn't matter. So the first thing to go wrong is my bed came from Wayfair, as did my mattress from Eve, and they both arrived happily, and I put the bed together and the mattress didn't fit. The mattress overhung the end by about that much, like not a tiny bit, like quite a significant amount. And I remember I put it all together on my own because my friends had COVID and they weren't able to come and help me. So I put it all together on my own. I put the mattress on, and I slept in the living room on the airbed because when you get those memory foam mattresses, they kind of smell weird. So I was just going to leave it for overnight. And I went in the next morning to get some clothes out of the wardrobe, and I just saw this overhang that I hadn't noticed the night before, and I was just not happy. I checked all of my measurements, thinking maybe I'd ordered the wrong size mattress or something, and no, Wayfair had just got the wrong size on their website of their bed. So that was great. A friend of mine came round to help me take it apart. They picked it up and I ordered a new one, and that's fine. It's comfortable. It's actually a much nicer bed. So, you know, the universe was working in my favour that day. But at the same time as that was happening, I didn't have a shower because I had my first shower here, and I've got an electric shower. The whole flat is electric. And I had a lovely shower. I'd conditioned my hair, and I went to press the button to turn it off and found that the button didn't work, because as I pressed it, it had got jammed in. So I'm doing, you know, the universal thing that you do when a button is jammed, and I'm trying to like jiggle it out. And in doing so, the entire front fascia of the electric shower fell off. Yes, all of the electrics were exposed. And I was in the shower, so you can imagine my state. And all of the electrics were exposed. So I called up the shower people. They figured out that the shower was about 10 years old and I just needed a new one, which was fine. They then sent the wrong shower, and the engineer said it was the wrong shower, and also that I needed to get an electrician to check it all. First electrician told me I needed to rewire the entire bathroom, which sounds awful, but my bathroom is tiled everywhere. So I needed to rip the tiles off, rewire it, and get it retiled. All of this while I'm sleeping on an airbed because I don't have a bed that fits. And I also don't have, I also didn't have Wi-Fi, so I was hotspotting because my friends were ill. So I was hotspotting for a few days until they were negative and I could go over. So it was a lot of things at once. Eventually I did have to get a second opinion because the first electrician didn't quote me for a while, so they sent someone else out who was like, actually, it's not a problem. And he was able to install my shower. So I have a shower. It's a lovely shower. I'm very happy with it. I have a bed, which is also great. I have Wi-Fi. I have my beautiful dream sofa. I don't know if I've ever mentioned it on the podcast before, but that was always kind of something I talked about, how one day I wanted a really sunflower yellow wall with a turquoise sofa, and I have it. And I'm very proud of myself because I did that on my own, which I'm quite proud of myself for doing. At the moment, I've got everything I need. I've got my TV is here. My sofa, I don't know if I've mentioned, my sofa is here. I've got my little side table that actually sits on the other end of the sofa, but is there for vibes. I've got my dining table over in that corner, which is also where I work. The dining table has 2 chairs and a bench. The bench, they gave me the wrong size screws, and it's just one of those things that I just need to get around to getting the right size screws and putting together. But I will, because I do have a housewarming coming up and I need to have somewhere to put people. I have a bed and a mattress that fits. I have a dressing table. It's not really a dressing table, I actually got a standing desk from IKEA, just so that I can put some perfume on it really and just have a final check before I go out. The only things that I really have to do is put up pictures. I've got quite a few prints that I've accumulated over the years. I want to lay them out, figure out if I want any more, what I want, where I want them. So I'm going to do that. I think that's going to be a weekend project, probably in late September. Maybe not before the housewarming, you know? Because I am only one person. And then, what else do I need to do? I feel like there is, yes, the cupboards. I've got a lot of storage here. My kitchen pantry is perfect, that's fine. The hall cupboard, I'm getting a tumble dryer put in, so I need to pick that up and organise that cupboard so that it works for me. But the built-in wardrobes in my bedroom are a mess. The side that has my clothes in, fine. Everything else I've just kind of shoved in and closed the doors. So I do intend to get that organised at some point and get myself some storage solutions. And I might vlog it actually, because those kind of organisation-y things I really enjoy watching. And I actually really enjoy doing it. It's just one of those things where I just haven't had the time to do it. A couple of other things to mention. I finally hit 10 miles. So when I moved, I joined the local gym, which is super close to my flat. It's like a 5-minute walk away. I've started going for morning workouts with one of my friends. We do not a particularly hard workout, but it gets you going in the morning. And it's a nice thing to do when I'm working from home because it gets me up early, it kind of gets the blood pumping, and then I'm kind of dressed, showered. I've had breakfast all by kind of 8:30, 9:15, which is a really nice way to start the day, to be honest. And then on top of that, I have been getting my 3 runs a week in, she says, having not done a single run this week, but oh well. I've got my 3 runs a week in, and last weekend I hit 10 miles. And it has been a long road. I've talked about this before. I've really struggled post-COVID. I was exceptionally tired for January, throughout February and into March, really exhausted. You know, I still kind of get that way. I find I tire a lot easier than I did before I had COVID, but nothing like other people have had. So I consider myself very lucky in that respect. And it took me a long time to get my mileage back up, but I'm there now. So I'm going to start alternating my long runs between 10 and 5 miles, and then kind of focus on my speed and time. So I'm very excited about that, which is quite sad, really. It's a bit geeky, isn't it? But hey, you know, you gotta love what you love, and I'm delighted to be back running long distances again. It felt really good. I mean, I was disgusting afterwards, but I felt euphoric. And that's it, really. I went to Costa Rica. We did a couple of hikes. We hiked up a mountain that was really near where we were staying. We went through the rainforest. We did some kayaking. We did some paddleboarding. We did a lot of chilling, and we did a lot of eating. And it's such a beautiful country, and it 100%, you know, I've always wanted to go there because I'm a massive Jurassic Park fan, which was really cool. So kind of seeing the place that inspired those films, well, the first one's my favourite. We don't really talk about the other ones, but you know what I mean. It was super cool. And I am currently looking at Jurassic Park prints for my hallway. So yeah, I had a fantastic time in Costa Rica. I didn't vlog it because it was about being with my friend. It was about actually taking some time off, really. Because I do feel like I haven't really taken my foot off of the accelerator for a couple of months. I can't remember the last time I had a lie-in. I'm consistently getting around 6 hours sleep a night. Just not something you should really admit in public, but it is the truth, and it is something that I'm working on. And now that I'm really settled and I have a sofa, did I mention that? I can chill out a little bit and I can take it easy. So I've got a lovely weekend ahead of me. I am meeting a friend for lunch. We are going to watch House of Dragon, whatever the new Game of Thrones thing is, because apparently I'm a glutton for punishment. And then we're gonna go and see Much Ado About Nothing at the National Theatre, and I am absolutely so excited for it because it is easily my favourite play and some of my favourite actors are in it, so I'm very happy about that. And then Sunday I will be dog sitting, which is just an excuse really to sit on the sofa and probably rinse a load of Doctor Who, to be honest, as I finished A Discovery of Witches. So that's it. As I said, I was trying to keep the updates really swift because the light is gradually fading. It's getting quite dark out, and I don't know if I mentioned, but I do have a curry to make before I can edit this beauty. But I'm back. I am back. But that's it for this week. I'm really happy to be back. I'm really happy to be in my new home. I am really happy to be here with you all, and I can't wait to do this all again with another cup of tea. So I will see you in a couple of weeks with more updates, maybe some foes, who even knows? See you then for another cup of tea. Take care, bye.